Already, how's it going, everyone? I think we're actually all set and ready to actually just jump right on in. I don't really have anything to announce or say, so yeah. Where did I last leave off? Right here. We were left off in the middle of the chapter, or close to the end of the chapter, so I don't know how far we have of this leftover chapter. I keep saying the word chapter, but I mean that's how you describe this section of where we are in the episode 8 of Umineko, Twilight of the Golden Witch. Final episode. We're very nearing the end. I'm actually very nervous on how this actually ends for Umineko. I'm really nervous. I'm really nervous. But before I start reading, let me switch over to the screen here. Perfect. And let me shut off the music. Who wants music in the middle of the whole thing, right? Right? Yeah. I know what I'm saying. What? Alright, let me up the game volume a little bit because I can tell it's a little lacking. Alright. I think we're good to go. Alright, my mouth is already dry. Fantastic. This means I'm gonna screw up even more. Haha, laughs. Oof. Oh, cold water. Fantastic in this hot heat. Alright. Lambda Delta leapt to her feet and crushed the cup of popcorn in her hands. Why? Sweet candy-flavored popcorn flew all over the place, hitting everyone in the face. Oh my god, how rude. It might have looked funny. However, no one laughed. Lambda Delta's face was filled with a rage that none of them had seen before.
勘違いしないでくれる？
What the fuck?
私は観客よ、観客！ベアトに招かれて、そのゲームを見物に来ただけの客人よ。その私が、なんであんたたちのために命までかけなきゃなんないわけ？返事が帰ってきたらハッピーエンド？バカじゃない？怒り狂ったベルンとその軍勢が一気になだれ込んできてブチッと潰されておしまいじゃない。私がここにいる理由はたった一つよ。それは面白い物語が見られるとそこのリオンに啖呵を切られたから。ええ、そして私はもうじき最高に面白い物語が見られることを信じて疑わないわ。それは背水の陣でベルンの軍勢と戦って一人また一人と散っていく悲しい悲しい物語。全員に散り際の見せ場がありそうだもんね。それを間近でもうじき感激できるのよ。あんたたちはもうじきみんな死ぬの。でも私は違う。私は観客よ、客人よ。あんたも一緒に死んでくれなんて言われる筋合いはこれっぽっちもないんだから。
Okay. No one was able to say a word. In the still silence, where there was no sound except that of the rain, uncomfortable. Even Lambda Delta finally hung her head in dismay.
ごめんね。
Meh.
私ってば最高にかっこ悪いわ。
Oofa.
そうよね。ここで私が任せておきなさいって胸を叩いたら、私の人気はうなぎ登りで次の人気投票はトップ3くらいに入っちゃうかもね。でもね、私はあんたたちと違って物語の登場人物じゃないのよ。死ねないのよ。あんたたちが深夜にクライマックスはこれからだとか意気込んでるけど、私は明日月曜で学校で日直で朝は起床が早いわけよ。住んでる世界が違うの。だからさ、私をさ、
Lamb staggered as though dizzy, then plopped down into a chair. Then she became expressionless like a doll, just staring at a single point in space, silently. Sag. Battler softly apologized. However, Lambda Delta remained oh my god, already it's starting. Expressionless. I mean, true. Fair.
俺たちはここで戦い、最後の1秒までここを守る。エンジェが一なる真実よりも俺たちを選び、帰ってきてくれるかもしれない奇跡を信じて。それも尽くさないのに、あんたに俺たちと一緒に命を捨ててくれなんて頼めるわけもない。
Battler rose from his seat and spun around.
バトラー。
見張りの2人と交代してくれ。俺が奴らと戦う時の先人でありたい。
Yeah, that's my man.
それが今すぐ俺がラムダデルタに見せられる俺の決意だ。
わらわも行くぞ。お師匠様はラムダデルタ教に新しいポップコーンを頼む。
Yeah, she kind of spilled hers all over our face. All over our faces.
デアト。
I felt that was a little bit extreme, but hey, well, whatever.
エンジェは必ず帰る。
I got popcorn in my eye.
信じねば、実る奇跡も実らぬというもの。くじを買わねば、当たることもないのだからな。
Vito also stood up and followed Battler.
みんな、戦いに備え、何かの準備をしよう。
賛成だぜ。ここでうつむいてたってバカバカしいぜ。
そうだな。最後くらい景気よく行こうぜ。
Yeah, get those guns ready.
エンジェちゃんの帰る場所を守らなくちゃ。
私たちも作戦会議が必要です。
そうだな。家具に武具に悪魔に異端審問官だ。このちぐはぐ連合軍でうまく連携を取らなきゃな。
さあ妹たち、休憩の時間は終わりよ。シエスタ対起立。
The humans and illusions all rose to their feet and left the arbor. Afterwards, only Lamb remained, still staring blankly at the point in empty space. Still Sag. Alright. Oh, we're back here.
いい香りの紅茶ね。インスタント？それともティーバッグかしら？
おや、同志エヴァもいかがです？カップはないのでロートになりますが。
A gold butterfly drifted onto the balcony and turned into Ava.
ベルンカステルの様子はどう？一なる真実の書の封印を解くのにまだだいぶかかるのかしら。
それを伝えに来たのよ。封印が解けたそうよ。
おめでとうございます。いよいよですね。あなたの人生のピリオド。
鍵を持ってベルンカステル教のところへお行きなさいな。使い魔の猫が案内してくれるわ。
2 emerald sparkles flew in. They were the green glinting eyes of a black cat. The cat flicked its tail elegantly, with the dignity of a high-class attendant. Don't flick me, I'll flick you. Angie rose from her seat. She did it so casually, as though she really was just heading out for a short trip. However, her lips would probably never touch her half-finished cup of tea again.
短い間でしたが楽しかったです。同族嫌悪って感情を知ることができる貴重な時間でした。
私こそ次に会えたらどうやったらこんなにまずく紅茶が入れられるのか、ぜひ秘密を教えてほしいわ。
嬉しい？私が12年間ずっと隠して意地悪してきた秘密がいよいよ知れて。
嬉しいわ。ああ、今ならエリカの気持ちがわかるわ。あんたが死ぬまで守った秘密を暴けて、あんたに一矢報いてやったって気持ちになるもの。
それは気持ちのいいこと？
多少はマシって程度だわ。
Angie nodded towards the black cat to let it know that she was ready. The cat nodded back in a refined manner, indicated that it wanted Angie to follow, and leapt from the balcony. Without turning back, Angie followed it, jumping out into the air as though swimming. Ava watched her go. An expression of ridicule and scorn failed to cross her face.
いってらっしゃい、エンジェ。それもあんたの選んだ道よ。あんたはもう6歳じゃない。18歳なのよ。自分の人生は自分で選択しなさい。過保護なおばさまだことで。私は式典の様子を見に行くけれど、あなたは？もうじき出陣の時間ですので船に向かいます。手土産にはベアとの屍を、腹渡はパーティーに。私は皮をもらえることになってますので剥製を作りましょう。これで謎のベールに包まれた六軒島物語もおしまいね。するとその駒であるあんたもおしまいになりますね。私はただの駒よ。駒の役目はゲームが終わるまで自分の役目に忠実であることだわ。ゲームが終わった後のことを考えるのは駒の役目じゃない。そうですね。それは私も同じです。お互い今のこのひとときを楽しみましょう。では私もこれで失礼します。じゃあね。お仕事頑張ってね。
After exchanging elegant bows, the two witches vanished at the same time. Nothing remained except some half-finished teacups and the aroma of the tea itself. One after another, luxury cars stopped in front of the high-class hotel in the city, and guests began to step out of them.
いやあ、大月教授。おお、これは。
What the fuck?
前回のコンベンション以来ですな。
All of the guests gathered here were very rich and cultured. A single hobby tied all of them together. They were witch hunters. like-minded people who enjoyed exploring various interpretations of the Rokkenjima mystery.
しかし本当でしょうか。後ろ宮エヴァの日記帳が実在したなんて。
ええ、私も噂には聞いておりました。後ろ宮エヴァが死の直前に隠したとささやかれる秘密の日記。彼女はロッケン島の真実をそれに密かに記していたと噂されます。まるで王様の耳はロバの耳ですな。人は自分しか知り得ない秘密を穴を掘ってでも口にせずにはいられない悲しい生き物なのです。
何でも聞いた話ではドバイのコレクターが1000万ドルで買収を持ちかけてるとか。
それはすごい。それだけロッキン島ミステリーが魅力的なことの証左ですな。
Conversations like this were breaking out passionately all over the place. Furthermore, it wasn't just guests who were allowed to enter. The press was also there in force. The Rokkenjima mystery was such a large movement that it became a social phenomenon at one point. Though it had died down slightly in recent years, it was still a topic fiercely debated across the internet. It was hardly any surprise that the discovery and imminent release of Ushiromiya Eva's diary, which contained the truth of that mystery, had caused an uproar. And on top of all that, the mysterious forger... I don't know how to pronounce the fuck out of that. Itao Kukuru, I butchered that so hard, was to appear publicly for the first time. You know what, I'll just say Kukuru. Yeah, there we go. And in fact, it seemed that Kukuru and Hachito Toya, the up-and-coming mystery novelist, were the same person. Really now? Of course, this meant that Toya would also be appearing in public for the first time. Though she was thought to be a male author, the fact that she was actually a mysterious woman author alone was enough to cause a stir. Oh, Jesus. Before the daily unveiling party. I read that as... Whoops. Excuse me. Before the diary unveiling party. What the fuck? Daily? What the hell? A press conference was held in one of the rooms of the hotel. Yes, it's such a daily thing.
先生は過去のサイン会においても影武者を立ててまで姿を現すことを拒まれてきたわけですが、それが今回こうして姿を現されたのはどういうご心境の変化からでしょ
う。ロッケン島の魔女伝説は無限の物語を生み出してきました。それが終焉することの意味を考えれば、物書きの端くれとしては姿を現す形で敬意を表するべきであると感じたからです。
偽書作家としての先生はネット上で真実に至ったと公言されておりました。それはつまりもう先生は日記の中身をご覧になっているということなのですか。
そしてそれはもうじき皆さんにも公開されることとなるでしょう。
こう言ってはなんですが、日記の中に記された内容が真実であるとの保証はあるのでしょうか。個人の私的記録に過ぎないといううがった見方もあるようですが。
いいえ、私が保証します。日記には真実が記されています。
A stir passed through the crowd, and the room was suddenly filled with camera flashes.
これにて八条先生の会見を終了いたします。報道各社の皆さん、本日は誠にありがとうございます。引き続きまして、後宮エヴァ氏の日記の撮影時間に移りたいと思います。
A hotel worker pushed forward a cart covered by a veil. Then after looking at Hojicho for approval, he removed the veil. There lay Ushiromiya Eva's diary. The book of the single truth sat there, waiting for its seal to be released. Hachicho held it to her chest and laughed enigmatically. Oh god, that's a mouthful. Camera flashes came from everywhere, making the book of the single truth glint.
以上で会見を終了させていただきます。それでは皆様、会場の方へ移動をお願いいたします。
Still holding the diary, Hachijo left the press conference room, escorted by men from the hotel, until she went through a door that said authorized personnel only. The journalists continued to surround her and ask questions, hoping to gather just one more comment. Not today. When the door slammed shut, the world twisted. The hotel employees became black cats wearing capes. Hachijo had turned into Featherine.
すごい熱気じゃない。楽しめた？疲れる。だが悪くない。それにしても、この日記は重いな。
Oh boy. Featherine tossed the diary, and Bernkastel caught it.
私は少し控室で休ませてもらおう。出番なんてすぐよ。休んでる暇なんてないでしょ。では休むと言わず、久しぶりの興奮をかみしめる時間が欲しいと言い直そう。この本借りるわよ。エンジに一番に見せる約束をしているわ。そうか、ならば好きにするがよい。
Feathering left, followed by her cat attendants. After watching her until she was out of sight, Bernkastel disappeared as well. Weird. Very weird. Alright. So I guess this is all happening simultaneously, right? Okay. Like Erika's room, Bernkastel's was a balcony without a handrail, dug out of a bookshelf cliff. Okay. Angie had been kept waiting for some time, but she had waited patiently, looking down at the world below her.
遅くなったわね。ごめんなさい。
This is a long chapter, huh? Damn. After Bernkastel appeared, the black cats gave a bow and vanished.
ほら、持ってきたわよ。一なる真実の書。
Gee, thanks.
触れてもいい？
お好きになさい。
Touch it. Bernkastel set it on the table and beckoned Angie forward. Slowly, Angie approached it.
これがエヴァおばさんの日記。
そうよ。その中にあんたが知りたかった一なる真実が記されているわ。鍵は持ってるわよね。
ええ、ここに。
Angie took the key out, looked at it there on her palm, then gripped it tightly. Even the heavy lock that held the diary so securely was fated to be swept aside easily as soon as Angie readied herself.
せかさないわ。あなたの心の準備がついてから開けるといい。
この中には1986年10月4日と5日に何が起こったか記されているのよね。
Right, what happened like hours after the explosion, or you know, blah 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 blah.
そうよ。
blah blah blah.
あなたが命と引き換えにしてでも知りたいと願ったすべてがね。
How is this gonna play out? In that instant, two Angies appeared inside of her, taking control of her body at the same time. On one hand, she knew that she had already paid a great price to learn the truth. This part of her gripped the key, wanting to avoid a second of hesitation that might lead her to refuse the truth, to learn the truth now. At the final moment, with the Book of the Single Truth right before her. On the other hand, the feeling as though she was betraying the brother and family who watched over her warmly made her bite her lower lip. However, though she shook, she could do nothing but watch as her right hand slowly brought the key towards the lock. Well, what am I hesitating for? Inside this diary is the final destination of my sad, painful 12-year-long journey. Wasn't 12 years enough? Do I want to keep living that way? That brother is an illusion created by my heart. My naive hope that a miracle might still occur. If I put my two options on a scale, then the path I should choose is clear. Slowly, I pushed the key into the lock and twisted. The lock opened with a click, and at the same time it felt as though a crack ran through the key in my hands. Maybe a part of that intricate design had fallen off. I couldn't tell where it was broken just by glancing at it. However, for some reason its golden glint seemed dulled somehow.
あんたがその鍵で選択をしたから魔法が一つ消えたのよ。何の魔法？バトラが言わなかった？その鍵はあなた以外の誰にも渡すことはできないって。そのあなたに選択を委ねるという魔法が今その役目を終えて消えたのよ。
Right.
もうその鍵はただの鍵。この日記を開け閉めするだけのただの鍵よ。そう。じゃあこのお兄ちゃんの鍵ももう用済みね。もらってもいい？あんたが読んだ後にもう一度施錠するの。その錠前を開けるのもパーティーの立派なセレモニーだそうだから。そう、好きにすればいいわ。
I don't give a damn what happens after I find the truth. Grunnkestel slid the key from where it lay on the table and put it into her pocket.
では、どうぞ。真実を知ろうとするあなたの勇気が消えてしまう前にね。
Courage? I lifted up Aunt Ava's now unlocked diary. The lock was unset. Even the hinge had been released by now. Nothing stands in the way of me opening to the pages within. I thought of taking a deep breath. However, I decided against it. I prepared myself for this long ago. It'd be so stupid to fuel my reluctance further. I opened it. Violently, ruthlessly. I knew that this was the right way to open to the pages that held the truth. As soon as the cover was opened, a brilliant light poured out, and my mind went hazy. The truth was sent to my mind directly, without letters or words. Tell me, what happened that day on Rokkenjima? Okay. Yeah, you see, Shannon was a big part of that one right there. Alright. My consciousness returned gradually. Nothing was written in the book before me. Of course, this was my own blank and empty notebook. I was at school, just sitting idly with my notebook open. The world had stopped. My hands on the clock had stopped too. Wait, what? Did I just say my hands on the clock? The hands on the clock had stopped too. In that case, the auditorium should have been filled with silence. However, I could hear a small commotion. In this world of suspended time, I could see dark shapes sneaking about in the shadows of the unmoving students. Oh my god! They were students with goat heads. Hello. They were sneaking glances at me from behind the frozen students, whispering something to each other. I know. I can hear them. Everybody knows. One after another, students with goat heads grew out of shadows all over the room. They slipped around. All of the students stopped in time and gathered around me. Then they all jeered out something in unison, and, as if they knew I could hear, showered me with giggles and gossip and sneers. However, nothing that came from the goat's mouth reached my ears as words. This was a world without letters or words, so no words reached me. Interesting. However, their emotions and meanings did reach me, so I knew what it was they were saying. And then, when I was able to visualize it, one after another, the goats opened their massive jaws, showing their fangs that dripped with saliva, and came forward to bite me. Time was stopped for me. I was aware, but I could not move. That wasn't literally true. However, I was pretending that I couldn't hear, so I couldn't move. The goats bit me all over my body, leaving their fang marks licking me. Maybe they didn't like the taste of my clothes. Taking advantage of the fact that I couldn't move, they chewed through my clothes one by one. Over and over again, the goats stuck their tongues, their jaws, their fangs into my naked body. I was covered with drool and bitten all over. Bright red teeth marks were left behind as sharp fangs pierced my skin, leaving trails of blood. They licked up the blood like real goats, hurting and humiliating me. As I hung my head, one of the goats pulled on my hair, forcing me to look up and spoke. They didn't say it with concepts, but with words I could hear. However, they weren't words of the human world. They were a witch's words. The red truth, which signifies truth that is certain. Okay. Oh, Jesus. Who cares about the truth? So stupid, so pointless. I'm the one who gets to decide if that's the truth or not, right? Even if it's read at truth, I won't acknowledge it, won't forgive it, definitely won't accept it.
赤き真実は絶対？誰にとっての絶対？あんたたちにとっての絶対でしょ？私にとっての絶対じゃない！
You've been accepting the red truth as absolute this whole time. Now that it doesn't suit you, you don't accept it? Such a fucking hypocrite and such a fucking... Oh my... I can't, man. I just fucking can't with this bitch. What the fuck?
私の真実はあんたたちの真実に怪我されたりなんかしない。
ね。
エンジ、落ち着いて。知りたいと願ったのはあんたでしょ？
Right?
私の真実はエヴァおばさんが犯人。
Oh, shut the fuck up.
エヴァおばさんがみんなを殺したのよ。悪いのは全部エヴァおばさん。お父さんもお母さんもお兄ちゃんもみんなただの犠牲者。誰も悪くない、誰も悪くない。だってそうじゃない、だってそうじゃない。
Your aunt will always be on your side, Angie-chan.
わかったわ。あんたの言葉の意味。そうよ、エヴァおばさん、あんたが犯人よ。あんたが犯人。それを認めない世界の方がおかしいのよ。壊れてるのよ。正しいのは私。私は赤き真実を、世界のすべてを否定する。
そう。じゃあ、あんただけに記せる赤き真実を記してごらんなさい。でも、人間はどうやって赤き真実を記すの？
あるわよ。人間にしか記せない真っ赤なインクがあるじゃない。
エンジェさん、落ち着いてください。
正しいのは私、間違ってるのが世界。私が記してあげる。本当の赤き真実で私が真実を記してあげる。
20屋上支援大至急。
Okay, I see what's happening now.
エンジェさん、待ちなさい。
So we're back here, huh?
早まるな。危ない。
グッバイ、エンジェ。Have a nice day.
記してあげる。これが私の記す真っ赤な真実。お前たちの世界の真実など私は受け入れるものか。
Angie's body went past the edge of the balcony. The air, which she had once been able to swim through, was now completely merciless for some reason. Angie's body plunged straight into darkness below. Bernkastel just watched the scene play out in silence. Behind her, men in black suits rushed up to the fence, clutching it and screaming.
20エンジェさんが飛び降りた。
Whee! Splat.
ダメだ。ここからは姿が見えない。大至急地上を調べろ。無理だ。どうしようもなかった。ひょっとするとあそこの防護ネットに引っかかったかもしれん。調べてみよ
う。What fools. If you jumped straight down from this height, do you really think such a flimsy safety net could possibly save you?
そんな奇跡、絶対に起こらないことを、この奇跡の魔女、ベルンカステルが保証してあげるわ。
Eiji's body fell from the skyscraper-like bookshelf and slammed against the floor of the City of Books. Looking down from Bernkastel's balcony, which was as high as a skyscraper's roof, did it look like a lovely red pressed flower? No, you couldn't see it at all. Just like how the death of a single lonely girl who rejected the world didn't matter to anyone in the world. She probably died instantly. It was only natural. She had fallen straight down from that height, after all. Is it even conceivable that she wouldn't die instantly after something like that? The index finger on the right hand of her corpse stuck out, as though it was tracing something. Could it be that, by some impossible miracle, she really had escaped an instant death? And could the red blood that had drained from her at that moment of her death have been the ink that drew her own personal red truth? However, no one would ever be able to tell what she had written. After all, the red blood pouring from her corpse had run over it all. Well, that sucks for you. Eva was looking down at the beautiful flower of blood radiating from Angi's corpse.
私はあんたを生かそうとした。でもあんた6歳より先の未来を生きようとしなかった。だからあんた12年をかけてやっと元の場所に戻ってきた。
The eyes on Angi's corpse were closed. However, there was no way of knowing if this was a peaceful thing. Eventually, the corpse began to melt away. At the end, it had become a messy lump of flesh, with only a few parts recognizable as human. It was hardly surprising. How else would she look after falling from that height and slamming against the asphalt?
あんたは死ねたわ。でもね、それで天国のみんなに迎えてもらえるかは別だわ。だってあんたはその天国のみんなを拒絶してここへ来たんじゃない。See you hell。いいえ、多分それはここだったわね。さようなら、エンジェ。
Damn.
あらエヴァ、ちょうどいいところへ。お呼びでしょうか、我が主。そのひき肉のゴミを捨てておいてちょうだい。私はこれを戻してくるわ。
And Bernkastel's hands were the key, which had lost its magic when Angie made her decision, and the Book of the Single Truth, which had been locked up again.
かしこまりました、我が主。
After looking down one more time, Bernkastel vanished. Once she had gone, Eva summoned some cat familiars and ordered them to clean up. The black cat gathered Angie's flesh and scattered limbs and threw them into a tin bucket. Even in this miserable form, Angie's soul was still living. Perhaps living is a poor description. She was unable to die. From now on, forever, she would drift along in the deepest depths of oblivion, covered by the dust of oblivion, until she finally disappeared. She continued to question herself. What did the truth mean to her? What was right, and where was the place she could call home? As her flesh began to cool, even the energy to ask these questions began to fade. Eventually, she would forget her everyday memories and even the reason why she was suffering. However, there was one thing she would never forget. That was the anguish. From this point forth, she would suffer endlessly without even knowing why. By the time the cats finished flinging her corpse into the bucket and dumping it into the sea of nothingness, Angie had forgotten even her own name. Tragedy ending. Oh my goodness. Alright. Wah wah wah. What's the sound I keep hearing? Yes, it must be the sound of rain. In that case, what are those two bright lights coming towards me? I don't know. However, they came at me with a screeching sound and stomped right in front of me. It's a car! A blaring noise came at me over and over. Whatever shining those bright lights is threatening me. Wait, what? Okay. It's probably telling me to get out of the way. Shoo! However, I was incapable of moving even a finger. There was a sound, and a car door opened. Car. Door. Apparently, I was lying on asphalt under the pouring rain. So, she was dead, but now she's alive. Right. Okay, sure. We'll go with that. Alright. Sending me mixed signals. And that's gonna be the end of the chapter, which is the end of this. So let's go ahead and save. Okay. Title screen. Yes.